Coming up next on B-Larnell Animation.
I don't wanna fall, rather just ball. I feel like a dog, fuck her once and don't call. She won't get a call back, no she want my rags. Look, get back, no we ain't cool like that. She wanna eat off my plate. Fuck her dick.
There I awaken, groggy confusion, sunlight beaming on me as I try to figure out why the ceiling is so much closer than usual. Look over and see the bitty-eyed KLAP from last night is still here, curious. Why hasn't she ejected herself from my presence and went back to her dorm? Then I get up feeling a bit anxious, like I'm missing something, so I slide out of bed and that's when I remember I'm not at my dorm, I'm at her dorm, and we smashed on the top bunk, and my stomach is currently smashed in my chest. But for some reason, I still felt like something was off, like I was missing something, like I was late for something, and that's when it hit me. Now as I collapsed into the meeting, everyone just looking at me like, really nigga? I thought I had made good time. I was like 35 minutes late. The RHD had already left and the rest of the staff was just chilling, hanging out there, and the homie Dakota's like, you know Brad's pissed, right? I'm like, when hasn't he been pissed? And she's like, when haven't you been late? And I'm like, okay, good point. Now, I don't have any classes lined up till later in the day, so I'm just chilling in the staff lounge, and the homie Dakota starts smelling me, and I'm like, what are you doing, fam? And she's like, boy, you smell like straight funk. And I was like, yeah, I done ran like 500 miles just to get here late. And she's like, that's not what she's saying. She said I smelled like a Subway sandwich. I'm like, I'm not following Dakota. What the f talking about? Sex. You smell like sex. And I'm like, there's no way she could. And I sniffed myself and right as rain, I still smell like Shorty from last night. But I didn't think it was that strong, so I like try to deny it, and I was like, there's no way you can know that off rip. And she asked if I took a shower before I got here, and I'm like feeling the listening but still judging energy from the girls in the room. And I know Dakota enough to know if I try to keep denying it, she's going to dig in and turn this into a bit because she's a troll. So I'm just honest, and I'm like, no. And she's like, so you ran over here with raw coochie custard still on you and didn't even wash up? And I was like, I was trying to get here on time. You're still fucking late. Fuck you. Shut up. And she breaks my balls a bit, but you know, she's the homie, you know, we go back and forth like this all the time. She made being an RA worth it. So as we're talking, I just feel op-ass energy wash over me, bruh. And this whole ass nigga, we just gonna call him Trent, comes in, sees me, and goes like, oh, look who finally showed up. Quick aside, I hate this nigga. There weren't many black RAs in the dorm, which I don't have a problem with, but because of that, this weirdo ass nigga always made it a point to point out my blackness, and I had the unfortunate curse of having this ass as my floor partner. He was narcissistic, condescending, corny, and the worst kind of racist. A low-key racist. I don't like subliminals. I don't need bigotry going over my head. I prefer my hicks high-key. Hit me with a shut up, and I'm like, duly noted. I know where we stand. And then I charge up my special grade bigger bomber uppercut and steal on him with a shoe you can so ill both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X smirking in their graves. But Trent, he hits you with them stealth attacks. Like when I mentioned I was here on a partial scholarship, he said he was confused. I was too short for basketball and too skinny for football. And I'm like, bitch, I'm here on an academic scholarship. Or when we had Thanksgiving dinner in the staff room, he told everyone to make sure I get some watermelon because he wants me to feel at home. And of course, I ate the fuck out of that shit because watermelon slaps. But fuck you, bitch. You don't know me like that. And he also kept calling me Brillo Pad because of my hair and kept trying trying to touch it. This nigga was a straight lame, simply put. Anyway, he asked what we're talking about, and Dakota says we're chopping it up about how I smell like sex. And in typical lame fashion, he says, well, the only person that would smell like sex is me. We all know this dude is a virgin. I'm thinking this nigga is really like a cartoon bully from the 90s. Dog, we in college. We're grown. Who does this? And then he does what I knew he was going to do, because he always does this. He brings up his girlfriend, who he pounds on the regular, about how even if I did have sex, I wouldn't be able to please any woman the way he pleases her. He does this all the fucking time, unprovoked, just being a braggadocious bastard. And I'm inclined to believe him, because no one talks about this so much if it ain't true. Like, this is probably the only girl he ever made squirt, and he's wearing that shit like a badge of honor, showing anyone that'll listen. But also, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care if you want to harp on and on about your life and overinflate narratives of your experiences. Make a YouTube channel. Subscribe, by the way. But as the yaps in the background, Dakota and I ignore him, and she asks me why have I been late to staff meetings and night rounds lately. And she sniffs me again and asks, does it have to do with why I got the paint peeling right now? So I explain to her what's been going on. Now listen here. Boredom is my mortal enemy. I hate going up against boredom because it always beats my ass. I feel like my brain becomes mush when I'm bored, and if I'm bored for too long, I just lose my fucking mind. And it was just one day I was on campus and I was bored, no action, no moves, no nothing, on a Wednesday evening, and I jerked off, went to sleep, played Overwatch, jerked off again, did homework, jerked off again. I played The Sims 4, made a family of 3, and drowned all of their asses in the family pool by getting rid of the pool ladder and surrounded by a white picket fence. And yeah, that was funny for a bit, and then I got bored, so I jerked off again. Now as I lay there, bored as fuck, I'm thinking there has to be something to do. So I decided to video chat one of the homies.
Choose your homie. Rochelle.
I video chat my homie Rosh, and I'm like, what up? And she got bedroom eyes on and she looking kinda ooh. And I'm like, what's good? What you up to? And she said she just chilling. And I'm like, why you look like that? And she like what? And I'm like you real relaxed or something. Like, am I interrupting something? And she's like, oh, and pans the phone over to show her getting eaten out by some chick. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't have to. You could have just said. And then the girl gets up and takes the phone and goes like, hi. And I'm like, yes, hi, random white girl that's eating out my friend. Please put her back on the phone. Anyway, do you want to hang out? And then she has a nerve to say that she's busy. And I'm like, clearly not busy enough to not pick up the phone. And she says she can multitask, but she will old girl all day. And I said, all right, fuck you, bye. All right, so then I try to find the next homie.
And that's why I get high. That's why I get loaded.
So I hit up the homie Rennie, and I'm like, what you doing? And she just goes like, Zah. And I'm like, I see. Wanna hang out? And she says, unless I'm trying to get in the rotation circle, she at the house. I don't smoke, so I'm like, fuck you, bye. On to the next homie. I call Dakota. I'm like, hey, can I come to your dorm and hang out? She says she's not on campus. She's at her parents' house. You too, bye. Alright, so we run it back. I hit up my homie Simi, and I'm like, what you up to? And she said what most people here should be doing, which is studying for exams. And I'm like, all right, from one scholar to another. I see you on your nerds. Anyway, can I just swing over and chill while you work? And she said no, because I'm a distraction and I'm hyperactive. When I'm around, she doesn't get any work done. And I'm like, me, a distraction, hyperactive, how? Hey, baby.
Come here, girl, stop playing. Let me beat that. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you beat that. Look around, give you my last name. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you ballin'. Look around, give you my last name. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you stop playing. Look around, give you my last name. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you ballin'.
So at this point, I've exhausted all of my options, and I'm like, alright, ain't nobody fucking me for real then. Fine, whatever, I don't care, I'm gonna find my own entertainment. You can't keep a bored and down for long. So I started looking online for campus groups and activities and shit, dude. I'm not interested in politics, I don't want to learn how to bake, and the anime club is something I already go to, but they only meet on Thursdays. But then I see this club called the Kink Club, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm looking at the page on the website, and it's one of those, you know, I'm just gonna say Buddhism, because I don't want to have YouTube send me to the fucking shadow realm. So it was a Buddhism club for students to explore, discover, and meet like-minded people. Now the only thing I know about Buddhism were those 50 Shades of Shit movies, and from the ones I watched, they barely had any real Buddhism in it. So I'm like, I am intrigued, I am bored, and I need to know more. Now this was unknown territory, bro, and I didn't know what kind of shit I was going to be walking into, so I needed backup. So the first line of homies were all busy, fine, whatever, it's cool. So I hit up my friend Rudolph, who didn't stay on campus but was with his girlfriend at the time. Now I said, hey, I'm going to Buddhism club on campus and want to know if y'all want to go. Of course, being a degenerate like me, Rudolph said yes, so him and his girl both meet me at my dorm, they head out. Now listen, you may be asking, why am I drawing Rudolph's girl as a dog? Don't be alarmed, he is not a furry. I'm simply drawing his girlfriend as a dog because his girlfriend is a bitch. It's really that simple. Now you might be saying, that's fucked up. But now look here, listen. I asked him beforehand on a car ride on my way home. I say, hey homie, you care if I draw your ex as a dog when I tell the story about how he went to the Buddhism club for comedic effect? And he said, of course not. I encourage you to. And I'm like, bet. I got the homie seal of approval. So don't worry. This is not misogyny. I just don't like this bitch. So we meet up, and based off of the page, it said it's in Bowman Hall 217. So I'm like, bet. Let's go. So we venture over to the hall. We find the room. Now when we get there, we all just go bitch mode. I was like, alright, so I'm not going in first. And Rudolph was like, it was your idea. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware, but I don't know what the fuck going on in there. Like, I don't want to walk in and catch a straight key blast of nut. So I tell this girl, I was like, all right, you going to go in first? And she's like, hell no. And I was like, well, somebody got to go in first. And we bicker with each other, and eventually I'm like, all right, fuck it. It was my idea, so I'm just gonna just do it. I'm gonna go for it. And like everything I do, I don't have ass that shit. I commit. I ain't gonna walk in all meek and scared. Them mofos can probably smell weakness. So I busted the door with the confidence of a king and say, greetings, my fellow perverts, and swagger my way through the room and sit back down in the back. And as I take my seat, I'm looking around the room, and I see people my age, older people, you know, who look like they're retired. And I'm like, oh, okay, oh, damn, okay. So freaks come in all ages and sizes. Like, this is a diverse group here. Like, you know, I see Granny over there with some kind of knots and strings and shit. I'm like, hey, Grandma, you can tie me up anytime. Let me bop the back of your head and knock them dentures out, and you can show me what them gums do. But as I'm sitting there, I notice everyone just staring at me, and they're doing the from the room as, you know, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here for the club. And he's like, this club? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you didn't bring anything with you. And I'm like, well, I didn't think I would. I don't really have fuck toys just lying around, and I didn't think we'd be sharing. And he's like, what club do you think this is? And I'm like, the Kinky Sex Club? And everyone just started looking at me even harder, bro. And the dude just goes like, this is the knitting club. And I'm like, not the Kinky Sex Club? No, the Christian Knitting Club. And I'm like, bro, it was bad enough. It was bad enough it was a fucking knitting club, but a Christian knitting club? This is literally like the antithesis of what I'm fucking here for. God is probably up top in his little knitted Cosby sweater getting ready to smite the shit out of my gooner ass. But then, after the embarrassment, I realized something. Them two niggas never came in the room with me. And dog, my homie swears, every time we tell this story, he was right behind me like a loyal nigga in the trenches. And every time I tell that nigga, he is a lying motherfucker. Like, all I saw was them niggas cartoon dust trails from how fast them niggas bolted out of there when they said it was a fucking knitting club. I thought this was a 3-man, but it was just me, man. So I get up and say, you know, my apologies, and waddle the fuck out of there. I get outside, them niggas laughing their asses off, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. So I'm scouring the campus website, and it says right there, Bowman Hall 217. So I click on the little Instagram link for the Kink Club directly under it, and why I got a notice saying the club room has been moved to Bowman Hall 317. It was a fucking floor up. Y'all niggas didn't think that that was pertinent information to update on the campus website? That's like the first shit you see, not no fucking Instagram. Regardless, we found the correct room and we walk in and it looked like the same group of people for real. I mean, a few Discord mod looking mofos here and a few femboy looking mofos there, but yeah, pretty much the same group of people for real. And we all get acclimated, we introduce ourselves, we tell them about the mix up, and we get everybody laughing, and the club leader fills us in and what we missed and all that. And they were watching Moana, had fruit snacks and shit because they had already got done with whatever they had on the docket, and we're just chilling. But to be for real for a second, everyone here, including the club leader, were great people. Like, being there really educated me. Buddhism is more than just some Diddy type shit. The club was about getting rid of the stigma, but also enlightening everyone on consenting safe practices and all that. I really went in on some haha, this is for shits and giggles type shit, but walked away being enlightened on how trust, respect, consent are all like the pillars of this hobby, and it's really more just about sexual transparency and shit. Getting all that shit out the way, the club leader was a level 99 freak. So she showed us like her little briefcase of, again, cause YouTube, I'm just calling them ding dongs and shit. Homie, I had no clue what the fuck a bad dragon was before I met her. These ding dongs didn't look like shit you find on the human race. Shit looked like something you see a Pokemon dangling with. Some of these I'm looking at and I'm like, how the fuck are you even still alive? And she brought in like jawbreaker ball gags for everyone, like a little snack. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. Them bitches tasted good as fuck. Like they slapped. I'm just gonna be for real. They was gas. But I'm talking to the club leader and I'm like, these mofos don't hurt. And she said they did at first, but you get used to them after a lot of lube and a lot of practice. And she showed me her other bag with all of her stuff. I'ma just call them vibers. And I'm seeing shit that look like roses. I'm seeing shit that look like microphones. And I'm like, God damn. And we've already broken down the barriers at this point. So I said, you must be painting your walls the way you must be squirting. And she said it actually takes a lot for her to finish. And I'm like, I see. Look at this shit. This is enough for an army. And I'm thinking, of course it takes you forever to finish. You done put your G-spot through every near-death experience on the planet. G-spot probably went through like 15 Zenkai boosts. No wonder it's strong as fuck. I feel sorry for whatever dude trying to smash her because they probably fighting for their life against her G-spot trying to get her to finish like. G-spot probably bench 500 tons and 500 times gravity. She probably got the type of G-spot where if you talk shit to it and be like, yeah, I'ma fuck you, it'll talk shit back and be like, nah, nigga, I'ma fuck you. I, of course, didn't say all this to her, but you know, I'm looking at her and I'm just hearing all this and I'm just scared and aroused. I'm scaroused, you know, but I asked, you know, like, how did you get involved with all this? She said it was her dude, and me surprised was like, really? And of course her fine freaky ass got a dude, completely off the market, wasted potential. But anyway, she said in the early stage of their relationship, they had trouble with sexual compatibility. Basically, he wasn't hitting it right. And she said they weren't having good communication on the subject, so in an effort to receive actual pleasure, she started looking up self-satisfaction, all that, and eventually it led her to all these toys and all these extra kinks, and here we are. And I'm like, so are you still with your boyfriend? She said, yeah, the communication's gotten better. And I'm like, oh, so you don't even need these bag of toys for real. And then she said, she didn't say that. And I'm like, damn. Like, dog, I mean, I respect honesty, but let me find out my girl being dishonest, dog. I'm gonna be like, what you mean you still got this Mario Kart ass item box with all these doodads and gadgets in it, bro? But you know, hey, that ain't my problem. As the days go on, I start showing up to the kink club on each Wednesday. I didn't even need my other homie and his pet for real. I just went by myself. Eventually, there was this one girl that started showing up, and she was cool, bro. Fine shit to the maximum. And she became a regular like I did. And as we got more comfortable, we started talking a lot more. Like, I was making like a whole little mini friend group here. Now, eventually, I started to realize old girl just started making beelines right towards me each time we started to meet up here. She had like this aura as if she was waiting for me to initiate some type of move, but nigga, I'm a male. I don't understand these kind of signals, so I didn't want to misunderstand the situation. So again, I kept it cordial. Bare minimum, I just get her snap and we text here and there. Now, mind you, the kink club is starting to cut into some of the time my staff meetings were taking place. So it's Friday at this point. I'm laying in bed with my staff clothes already on to be prepared as possible for the next meeting. Because Brad already gave us a sermon about how the next meeting will be early Saturday because he's going to be off campus and has to do some shit or another. I can't really remember. And he grilled my ass about my attendance. So I'm like, let me just remain ready so I ain't gotta get ready. So I pass the time by watching some shorts on YouTube, and I see this nigga making shorts of him putting that shit on. And I'm like, damn, that nigga look fly, I ain't gonna hold you. I need to start popping out and showing niggas for real. So I go on like a little mini fashion montage of trying some fits and putting that shit on.
Go yard.
I got 3 thoughts on my dick, bust down Gucci all on my fit. I took my wrist.
My fashion montage going for a minute, then I get hungry, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm already dressed up, you know, let me just go out for real quick. And I had my staff clothes underneath like I was fucking Spider-Man or some shit. So it's like midnight, so I head over to the Tri-Tower dorm, because that's the only place that had an open food court at this time. And as per usual, everybody in there ain't mama there, people hungry just like me, drunk mofos, residents, the whole shebang. Now I get there and I get in line to order my food, and I hear a "what's up, bruh?" And it's my homie Trill. I dap him up and I'm like, "What's good?" And with Trill is old girl from the King Club, and we both excited to see each other. And she looked me up and down, eyeballing the fit. And I ain't gonna hold you, I was oral farming like a motherfucker. Had my hands flowing through my hair, had my smile and light skin eyes activated like you see the fit you wet from the drip. Bask in it, bask in it. And she goes like, "You look nice." And me knowing I got that shit on but trying to act like I ain't put that shit on was like, "Nah, I just threw something on to step out." And she kind of called my shit and said, "You just threw on a pea coat, a collared shirt, a chain, and some rings and a watch. You just threw that on." And me, you know, trying to save face like, "Yeah, man, it's something I just threw on. It's how I dress when I'm not the King Club." And she thought that was funny. And you can kind of sense that vibe starting up again, like she was waiting for me to initiate something, like go for it. It's becoming more palpable and explicit. She then said, "You know, I've never seen you here before." And I'm like, "I don't live here, I'm just here to get food." And she's like, "Well, you need to come here more often." And mentioned she stays in dorms up top. And we chop it up, and Trail waves us goodbye because he's just getting put to the sideline at this point. And she asked what I'm getting up into, and I'm like, "Some buns." And she gave me like the most intrigued but like surprised face, like, And I realized what I said, and I'm like, no, hamburger buns. I'm about to eat. And she laughs and says I'm funny, and that's when it hit me. Old girl got caught up in the aura. Like, girls don't just inject themselves in your activity unless they feeling a vibe. At least not any girl I know. And I'm thinking, I've wasted all this time BSing in the King Club. I could have locked in earlier. So we get our food and we sit down. The old girl just giving me the looks, bro. Like, the vibe is palpable. And I'm just here stuffing my face because I don't care. I'm not about to try to riz her while eating a hamburger seductively. But I'm stuffing my face. And as I'm eating, I see across the dining hall like some light-skinned, squinty-eyed nigga just staring over, looking at us. Or I think he was looking at us. I don't know if he was looking at me or her, but I could have swore homie was staring at us. But I'm like, whatever, I ain't paying no mind. It must be the wind. I must be seeing shit. So the night goes on and me and old girl is vibing, going back and forth, just having a good time. And it wasn't even like me trying to impress her. She was going all in on me. She wasn't asking no personal questions, just hardcore flirting, back to back, straight up. And as shorty stared me down and kept applying pressure, I got lost inside my brain. As negative self-sabotaging thoughts started manifesting themselves and began multiplying, anxiety and self-doubt feeding upon itself, making me believe that I wasn't worthy of all this flirting, and shorty was clearly trolling me. But then I realized the only way to defeat these toxic ideations was to remind them and myself the one truth that shorty across the table clearly realized herself, that I'm him. And once I bodied all them negative thoughts, oh yeah, I was locked in. So now that I'm mentally secure, I say if fuck being cautious, I go for it. So I'm like, what you trying to get up to tonight? And she just like lit up, like she was just waiting for me to ask this. And she's like, you trying to go up to my dorm? And you know, me trying to play coy, go like, oh yeah, what we gonna get up to up there? And you know, her trying to be funny just looks at me and goes like, buns, but not the hamburger. Dog, you might as well have been able to hear the fucking table thud with how violently I got bricked up. I ain't even finished my hamburger. I'm like, fuck this shit. So we get in the elevator, and as we heading up, she all pushed up on me, and I'm just thinking, I did not expect any of this shit when I was doing a fashion montage earlier, dog. I was not expecting finding a nice pair of cheeks to clap. Speaking of clap, today's sponsor for this video is KLAP.app. Dog, I'm never getting sponsored again. Anyway, Are you like me where you make obnoxiously long form content that's 10+ minutes? Do you struggle to cater to the attention deprived, brain rotted masses of YouTube who can't focus on a video longer than 0.3 milliseconds? Well, KLAP is the app for you. Using AI, KLAP can take the best bits of any of your long form videos and condense them into short form content. Using AI Reframe 2, whatever that is, I just know it works, it analyzes your scenes and applies the perfect layout. Split screen, screencast, gaming, and more, turning long videos into pro quality clips into just one click. It even auto-generates captions for you, which is really useful for accessibility concerns, and every short nowadays has those captions on it. And another cool thing is it even gives your shorts a variety score. It analyzes the clip and gives you a rating of the potential reach and spread the clip will have. This is really useful if you're like me and can't be bothered to try to cut up your long ass videos into vertical clips manually. You can just have KLAP do it for you and just spam a nice little short for you. You can save hours of video editing using KLAP, growing your audience with no extra work. It allows you to keep posting and watch your followers grow. If you're interested in growing your channel and turning your long forms into short forms, use my affiliate link in the description, and on checkout use my creator code BLarnell30 for 30% off your first purchase. Now back to the video. So we get up to her dorm and I realize these are some New York ass dorms, bro. My dorm hall was spacious as fuck. These dorms not spacious as fuck. It was claustrophobic. So I see her dorm set up bunk bed style and I'm looking around, I'm like, please tell me we ain't fucking on the top. And she like, we're gonna be on the top. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, I take the drip off and she pulled her hair down and bro, like, I don't know how she got more gorgeous. She looked magnificent, bro. I was on maximum brick mode. You might as well have caught me a thwomp. That's how bricked up I was. So anyway, we get to the top bunk. I almost get scalped. I'm 5'9". I still had no vertical maneuverability with this low hanging ass ceiling. And she asked me if I'm good. And I'm like, I'm just trying to find an angle because I can't do it upright. And she asked if I want to do missionary. And I'm like, nah, because who the fuck want to do missionary? I want to see the motion in the ocean. Alright, so like I'm going in, but I'm like at this crazy acute angle, dog, neck damn near broken. I was playing Tetris with this broad trying to find the best position with a good angle. Then she like, right there, keep going. Mind you, the right there is my legs like eagle spread, like gripping each side of the bunk bed for dear life, about to crack that bitch. Mind you again, I'm a skinny nigga with skinny legs. My build does not lend itself to maintaining obtuse ass poses like this. I look like a JoJo character, so I'm getting my hits in, but I need either her or me to give out before my knees do, legs shaking and shit. But I'm like, nah, there ain't no way I can fumble this, so I lock in. I gotta show her what it do. I ignore the pain in my legs, fight through the muscle strain, lock my spine in at this acute ass position, and clap, 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 dog. 16 minutes and 23 seconds. Yes, I remember, because I had my watch still on and that's the duration it said my workout was. But I eventually hit her with that. Finish! So I collapse in the bed, I salute my legs, good job, soldiers. Meanwhile, my dick like, what about me? And I'm like, yeah, you good, you did some work too. And so old girl come up against me, head on my chest, and instantly I'm like, so this is what it's like to satisfy a woman. W experience, not gonna lie. Maybe this is why Trent won't shut the fuck up about it. But she leaned over because she didn't want to sleep in the same clothes she just got dick down in. But dog, I instantly pass out. Wake up next morning and that brings us here. And Dakota looks at me and asks, so I've been lacking on my staff responsibilities for ass. And I'm like, yeah. And she says valid, but then asks where's the outfit I wore, and I was like, huh? And she said, you said you had that shit on, but you're in your staff clothes. And that's when I realized I did leave my jacket and all my other shit over there. I ain't even gonna hold you. Subconsciously, I did that on purpose for a reason to go back there because that shit was gas and I needed some more. So I text her and say, hey, I left my stuff over there, and she said she's still at the dorm. She ain't going nowhere. I can come by right now. I was there instantly, dog. Now as I get my stuff back from Ogor dorm, she said we should link up more, and I'm like, bet, say less. So as time goes on, I don't really go to the King Club as much anymore, but I'm still meeting up with her. And as our link ups progress, they go from quick, normal clap cheek sessions to, I don't know, dog, something more intense, more freakies, I guess. I ain't got the words for it. Like, there was the one time I brought her to my dorm because I was tired of her ceiling giving me a lineup with a taper fade. Whole time she looking out my window at our bridge lounge, and I'm like, all right, okay. Now we really don't talk much. She get over, I tried to spark a convo, she shut that down and said she trying to get straight into it. So I'm like, bet, in my spacious dorm ceiling all the way in heaven, more than enough space, let's get down to. And then she says, you guys have a really nice bridge lounge. And I'm like, yeah, the bridge lounge? What are you talking about? She's like, it has glass on all sides, it's very scenic and atmospheric. And I'm like, yeah, glass, scenery, what are we talking about? We should fuck in the bridge lounge. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, all right, let me get this straight. You want to go from my roomy, cozy dorm with immaculate mood set vibes and fuck in the bridge lounge. The lounge my whole dorm goes through to get somewhere or another. The lounge with glass that niggas not even the dorm can see through. And she said, yeah. And I'm like... And again, I'm bricked up, so I can't even think properly right now. I'm a womp right now. So I'm like, all right, sure, but we bring in a blanket. And she said, that's fine, and then we go from there. So we get to the bridge lounge, and I'm like scanning the area to make sure there's no people there, and I'm like, thank God. So I like turn the lights off because, you know, not trying to broadcast, I'm fucking in here. I ain't even gonna hold you. That shit turned into a movie, dog. We get on the couch, she throw the blanket over us, she do what I like and take that hair down, and she just start riding. And I'm like scared and nervous, but it's also kind of exciting and hot as fuck. Like the moon was out and the light is shining through the bridge lounge and the glass got it reflecting everywhere and it's all cinematic and shit. And I'm like, damn, she wasn't lying. This shit kind of getting me going. And as we go, the lights click on and I'm like, fuck. And she like ducks down on the side of the couch out of view. And I look back and it's one of my coworkers and one of the security guards. And I remember, of course, night rounds. This is what all the RAs do. And of course, I wasn't thinking about all that at all, given the situation. And I'm gonna be for real. We really just half-ass these night rounds. Like, if a situation ain't too suspicious, we just go about our night. And my coworker asked what's up, and I said, I'm just chilling. She ready to head out. But this security guard trying to earn all of his 15 an hour, I guess, start asking all these fucking follow-up questions and shit. And he's like, were you in here with the lights off? Just chilling? And as I try to come up with a lie, old girl just start going to town under the sheets while I'm talking to these niggas. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop! And she don't stop. And as I go back to trying to lie to these niggas, I just go like, well, I came in here to get away from my roommate. You know, his snoring is a pain in the ass. I'm just chilling out here, man, no worries. Now, I don't know if they bought the story or didn't give a fuck, but they said, all right, good night, and kept it going. And as they leave, old girl come up with my soul in her mouth. And as I lay there trying to compose myself, I'm just like, this motherfucker is a freak. And I'm realizing she gets off on this voyeuristic shit, bro. Like, this is her kink. And the shit just start progressing. Our link ups get more risque. Like, we ended up fucking in the library, but everybody fucking in the library, that wasn't really nothing. We fucked on the grass fields at night. We fucked behind a dumpster. We fucked in her car. And I'm like, dog, this, I gotta slow down because this is becoming like a little too much. Like, it got to the point she would start texting me places she wanted to go fuck and what position and shit. And it kept getting worse, like off limit shit we not supposed to be in. Like, she even asked if we could fuck in the staff room. And I'm like, fuck no, I'm barely not getting fired as it is. So we meet in the middle and settle for the band room, which is a room of the dorms that had soundproof booths and shit for the band to practice their instruments. And all I can say is a skin flute was getting played in that motherfucker. But eventually I start getting weary. Like, the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. And I noticed outside of the stuff I learned about her in the kink club and the few snaps we sent back and forth and all the fucking, I don't know shit about old girl, and she really don't know shit about me. Like, we have a working relationship, not a personal one, and it's always just about fucking. So I'm chilling with Rochelle and Simi, and I get a text from her with a place she wanna meet and the position she wanna fuck in. And I just let out a huge ass sigh, dog. And Rosh asked what's wrong with me, so, you know, I fill him in and I tell them, can't believe I'm saying this, but like, I'm tired of fucking. Like, it'd be nice if she asked, hey, do you want to just hang out or play cards or some shit? Or hell, just watch a movie over a glass of cranberry juice or some shit. But it's like straight to business. I want back shots over a balcony at 4 p.m. and Roch's dumbass ass if she's bi. And if I don't want her, you know, let her take a spin at her. And I'm like, I'm being serious. And she said she was too and asked what old girl looked like. And, you know, so I show her and Roch gets all surprised and goes like, I think I know that bitch. And I'm like, damn, Roch, like, don't tell me I've been fucking your sloppy seconds, dog. That make me feel even worse. And she said no, but she has a homie that might know her. Hold on. And she started going through her phone. And then Simi just asked me, why don't I just tell her that I want to do something else other than sex? And I'm like, this ain't that type of arrangement. This ain't a love relationship. It's a sex relationship. And her trying to be logical goes like, but you just said you want more than sex from her, so why wouldn't you bring that up? And at the time, I knew exactly why I didn't want to bring it up, but I was lying and trying to deny it to myself. I wanted her to be my girlfriend. Like, I was new to the f***ing game at this point, so if I'm f***ing somebody each way from Friday at a different locale every day, I'm like, maybe there's a bond there, but deep down I feared that that's not what she wanted, and if I broached the subject of being official, it would make it weird, and then it might just f*** up the consistent access to cheeks I was currently getting. But Simi is smarter than the motherfucker. Like, one of the smartest people I knew, and she just read me like a book and already knew what was going on, and she just tells me I shouldn't force myself to be in an arrangement that's not fulfilling me. I'm scared that if I go against this roadmap of tech she has laid out for me, she's just gonna leave and I'll be out the whole relationship. And again, me lying to myself, tell her no, I just don't want to deal with the trouble. I'm gonna just take a nap and then meet her at the spot. And Simi, using all her little wisdom points she got from her psychology minor, just hits me with the, if you're exhausted at the mere idea of doing what she wants you to do, but you're doing it anyway because you're afraid it'll end this arrangement, it's not an arrangement that you should be in. It's a form of self-harm. If you care about her, then you'll tell her you want more than just sex and not just show up to use her for her body. And if she cares about you, she'll either reciprocate that, you guys go on an actual date, or you guys end whatever this is and you're better off for it. And again, she is right, but at the time I wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like, I just got into an arrangement where I was having consistent sex. Like, what dude would want to f that up? I should just change my mindset and stop letting emotions take reign and just enjoy what I got. And I said as much to Simi, and you could see the disappointment in her face, dog, and she just goes like, whatever then, do what you want, I ain't your mom. Why should I want better for someone that doesn't want better for themselves? And I'm not gonna hold you, that last comment kind of almost triggered me because it was kind of salty. She said it saltily, like she was taking a jab, and I was about to say something back, but Roch interrupted both of us and told me she found old boy. She showed me her phone, and it's a picture of some light-skinned dude posing with old girl, and I'm like, who this? And she said it's her plug, and she remembers he was messing with old girl a while back, and eventually he stopped f***ing with her because she said she was crazy. She shows Simi, and Simi goes like, dude look like me. Roch agrees. I look at dude, and I ain't gonna hold you, bro did look like me. He was a skinny, light-skinned dude with squinty ass eyes. And then it hit me. That's the nigga that was staring at me that night at the food court. Then my heart started beating fast. I'm like, hold up, like what in the Tyler Perry have I gotten myself into, dog? And I'm like, what else do you say? And Roch said she remembers he just said that they was fucking, and the sex got freakier and freakier until she started doing shit he wasn't cool with. And I'm like, what happened then? And she said he tried to break up with her, and she started acting psycho, and it's been a wrap. I look at Simi, Simi look at me, and I look at Roch, and I'm like, you FaceTime this nigga right now, dog. Call this nigga right now. So Roch get him on the FaceTime, dude pick up, and Roch was like, hey bro, I gotta talk to you real quick. And he asked if she want to re-up, and she like, nah, but my dude want to talk to you, man. I hop on that phone, and I was like, hey bro, I saw you one night at Tri-Towers. You saw me with old girl. Hey, Roch told me you used to fuck with her. I need to know what happened with y'all right now. And from my squint eyes, I could see in that squinty eyes the PTSD flashbacks. Bro recapped his tale, and dog, it was really like some type shit. He said she rizzed him up at the dining hall. They start f***ing. It's cool. Then it progresses. The sex gets freakier. The place is more non-discreet. And it came to a head when they were f***ing in a parking lot and some cops rolled up on them. The cops gave them a warning. But this is when I found out you can go on a registry for shit like that, like public indecency or some shit. And I was like, ain't no f***ing way, dog. And he said, yes, bro. My life flashed before my eyes. I'm so glad it wasn't an asshole cop. He left me off with a warning. But after that, I told old girl, we just gotta go back to basics and just keep it chill. And she said she ain't trying to do that. And dude said, well, he can't keep risking it, but he still want to be cool with her. And apparently shit went off. Start calling that nigga Lil Dick, lopside sack, and just dogging that nigga and saying she been with better and blocked that nigga. And I'm like, dog, you saw me at the dining hall. Why didn't you warn a nigga? And he said, bro, I don't know you, for one. And what was I gonna say, for two? You gonna have a bunch of freaky sex with a baddie, but she a little crazy, nigga? What nigga would have listened and not ignored me? And I'm like, honestly, nigga, yeah, you right, you got it. I wouldn't have believed you. And bro was like, don't even feel bad about it. Cause Cause he wasn't the first. He found out later she been with tons of dudes that look similar to him. She was running through light-skinned, squint-eyed football and basketball players. He was just one in a long line of so many. So the only way to break free from the cycle was to remove himself. And I felt deflated. Whole time I thought I pulled shorty by being me, having the aura, but it was false. I wasn't him. I was just one of them, one of many. I wasn't that guy. I was just the next guy. And I was like, I have to confront her. I have to see the truth of this woman. So Roch hang up on the nigga. We all sitting in silence for a minute. And I'm contemplating like, what the fuck I'm about to do, dog? Cause I ain't trying to end up on no registry. And Simi says, so you're gonna break it off with her, right? And I'm like, yes. But like, now I'm kind of nervous. And Roch said, why? Most she gonna do is bug out, call you little dick, block you when you move on with your life. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be called no little dick and get dog. And Roch is like, is your dick little? And I'm like, hell no, my dick ain't little. I destroy planets. Yeah, I split the seas. I got the BBC gene type 3. And she says, so who cares if she call your dick little? Bitch get mad at me and say my pussy loose, but I know I can squeeze the juice out of an orange with that hoe. And I'm like, alright, you right. I'm gonna break it off with her. And I pull up my phone. And Simi and Roch was like, right here? You gonna do it right now? And I'm like, hell yeah. Y'all wanna have opinions and shit. See the results, niggas. Shit, I'm made. I ain't dealing with this shit in person. So I called her and she picked up and said, you meeting me at the spot? And I'm like, about that. Like, I kinda wanted to know if you just wanted to chill. Like, just hang out and link up another time. And she's like, nah, I wanna meet at the spot. And I'm like, I feel you, but like, I feel like I don't really know you, like for you, and I just want to get to know you, like outside of sex. And I just see Simi staring at me while I say this, and she says, I'm good, like, you trying to meet at the spot or not? And I say, alright, well, unfortunately, I thought we were cool to where we could be honest and know each other on a personal dog. I didn't even get to finish what I was saying. She interrupted the fuck out of me and said, I'm not trying to hear all that, like, you trying to meet at the spot? Like, you doing too much talking, you need to come the fuck on. And I look at Roch and Simi and I collect myself because I'm like, okay, no the fuck she did it, bro. And I lock in and tell her a bit about herself. And it was like we was in our own little pocket realm as everything else faded out of relevance. I try to be civil. Like, I don't understand what the problem with me just saying I want to take a pause on all the sex and just get back to, you know, how we were back at the King Club, you know, just talking, conversing. Like, we was cool. We wasn't really talking about anything deep, but we was cool. Why can't we have that and the sex? And she said that she was just doing that to make sure, like, I wasn't no weirdo and to see if I matched her freak. We already got past all that. There ain't no need to go in reverse. And I'm like, it's not going in reverse. That's how most relationships start. And she hit me with, I'm not trying to have no relationship with you. You hit it right, and that's all I need. And that's all you should be concerned about. And that's when it hit me, bro. Like, I was denying it. But it just came to a head at that point. I had caught feels for someone that wasn't really trying to feel me. She wasn't mine, it was just my turn with her. Simi was 100% right, and that's when I thought, is this how I probably ended with all the other dudes? Like, I've been in her guts each side from sideways, but I was really trying to get in her heart. But I guess there ain't no room for me. And I'm like, you know, it was all consensual. I was down for it all, but hearing her basically say I was just an object for her made me feel icky. Like, I don't know, I was just a plaything. And I'm like, is this what that shit feels like, dog? Because this shit sucks. So I said, fuck it. This ain't for me then. I ain't trying to mess with you no more. This was fun and the best sex I've had. Thank you for the experience. But I gotta break off from all this. And it's like you could see the look in her eyes. Like, the mere idea of rejection just triggered her. Like, I truly was her property, and the mere fact that I had grown a different opinion was not it. Everything was good with us when she had her way, but when I wanted to say, it just went left. I could feel her transforming into a whole different person, a monster, and she just came at me with vicious verbal attacks. After dodging all her slander and hitting her with a mean retort, I realized that she wasn't getting any weaker. She wasn't slowing down. She was getting stronger. Like the very act of entertaining this argument was feeding her energy and at the same time draining mine. Like I was not prepared for this to be a prolonged argument. And then she just entered her second phase and came at me with even more ferocious attacks. Dog, Simi was right. I should have just said my piece and let it go. This clearly turned into way too much for me to handle. After assaulting me with a barrage of insults, she hit me with her final blow. And as I recovered from the assault I just went through, Rach and Simi just look at me. And Rach's dumbass is like, well, see? You got through it and your shit ain't even shrink. And I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up. So next staff meeting, I'm at that bitch dirty. Like, I'm just chilling there 30 minutes before anyone else arrives because it's like I ain't had shit else to do. And everybody's surprised as fuck, even though I suffered through the fucking meeting and shit. And afterwards, I'm chilling in Dakota ass early. So what's going on? And I tell her, it's not like I had anything else to do. Me and no girl called it quits. And I tell her what happened. And she just looks at me and says, valid. And I'm like, yep, valid. Now, outside of the staff room, though, I see Trent's bitch ass coming, and behind him is a girl with bright pink hair, and I peep, and it's the club leader from the King Club, and I see them kiss, and she hands him, like, his book bag or whatever the fuck. Me and Dakota just watching. Trent comes in and says, you know, what's up, virgins? And now, my whole perspective is switching now, because I'm like, Trent, who is that? Is that your girlfriend? And he says, yeah, that's my girlfriend. And I'm like, so that's the one you always talk about, right? The one who you smash and all that, right? And he said, yeah, you know, I know you've never seen a hot girl before, but that's all me. And then as he starts yapping, I'm tuning that shit out, because I start thinking back to when I was in the King Club and the conversations I was having with her. Then I connect the dots. I started dying, bro. Sucks God, my motherfucking ass. I knew this nigga was cap. I knew it. That nigga was cap. You ain't pleasing shit. The only thing you pleasing is the bad dragon manufacturers providing a loyal customer, nigga. I started fucking dying, bro. And I don't tell him why I'm laughing, because I see his confusion is making him more irritated. And Dakota asked what's happening, so I whispered to her, and she started dying with me, dog. I've never seen Trent's ass so speechless. That nigga was heated because we was laughing, and I'm telling his ass why. Lame ass nigga, you wasn't happy or yapping no more, nigga. Oh my fucking god. Next time on B-Larnell Animations. And I yap and go over the whole situation while I'm heated, and Rochelle just not listening to me. And I'm just like, damn it, Roch. This isn't your everyday average white girl. This is a special grade cursed snow bunny. If we don't get rid of her, she's going to bring nothing but problems and headaches.
Took her to the real estate. Let her see the marble flows. Took her back to Hollywood. Showed her where a star was born. She could see the flashing lights. Another night in paradise, yeah. She don't want to leave this life, but she don't want to sacrifice.
I'm seeing dreams of machines. I watch them flip in such an order. I'm more involved with the things. I'd rather take a new explorer. I'd rather be around the ring. Hey, gather information with you. And I've been sitting on the brink. We cracked equations. We gon'